In a small alleyway, nestled between the drab, towering buildings of the bustling city, stood a dilapidated house covered in moss. There, old Mr. Elias lived alone, his only companions faded memories and a broken violin. Elias had once been a brilliant violinist. His fingers danced across the strings like a gentle breeze, creating melodies that captivated hearts. His music wasn't just a series of notes, it was the voice of his soul, stories told in sound, filled with the joys, sorrows, hopes, and disappointments of a lifetime. But cruel time had taken its toll. His eyes grew dim, his trembling hands no longer had the strength to hold the instrument steady, and his heart carried scars that could never be erased. The accident years ago had not only taken his beloved wife, but also his ability to play music. The precious violin, broken in that accident, became an inanimate object, a sorrowful symbol of an irreparable loss. The days drifted by quietly in the small house. Elias lived in near absolute silence, with only the steady tick-tock of the old pendulum clock as his companion. He often sat by the window, watching the hurried flow of people, but his soul seemed detached from the vibrant world outside. The broken violin rested solemnly on an old wooden shelf, covered in a thin layer of dust. Every time he looked at it, memories of glorious performances and the radiant smile of his beloved wife would flood back, causing his heart to clench. He didn't dare touch it, fearing that his trembling fingers would shatter the remaining fragile pieces of memory. One afternoon, as the setting sun cast weak golden rays through the window frame, a little girl named Anna happened to pass by Elias's house. Anna was a girl with bright, sparkling eyes and a soul sensitive to music. The melodious sound of a violin drifting from a nearby house had ignited a burning passion within her. Curious, Anna stopped in front of Elias's old house. She saw the old man sitting silently by the window, his weathered face etched with the marks of time and sorrow. Beside him, on the dusty shelf, she noticed a broken violin. A few days later, Anna returned. She brought a small bouquet of wildflowers picked by the roadside and gently placed them in front of Elias's door. The old man was surprised to see the flowers. A flicker of warmth stirred in his lonely heart. In the following days, Anna often visited Elias. She didn't talk much, just quietly sat beside him, sometimes bringing small gifts like a ripe apple or a vibrant red maple leaf. Anna's silent but sincere presence gradually soothed the loneliness in Elias's heart. One day, Anna bravely asked Elias about the broken violin. Her voice was soft, full of respect. "Sir, this violin? It has a story, doesn't it?" Elias looked at the violin, his eyes filled with sadness. After a moment of silence, he nodded softly and began to tell Anna about his life. His love for music, his wife who had shared his most beautiful moments, and the fateful accident that had taken everything away. His voice was hoarse, but every word held a deep emotion. Anna listened to Elias's story with profound empathy. She could feel the pain, the loss, and the passion for music that still smoldered in the old man's heart. From that day on, the bond between Elias and Anna grew stronger. Anna often came to visit, read books to Elias, told him stories from school, and sometimes sang cheerful children's songs. Her innocent laughter was like a breath of fresh air in the silent house, dispelling some of the gloomy atmosphere. One day, Anna brought a special gift. It was a small box filled with intricately carved pieces of wood. "Mr. Elias," she said, "I found these wood scraps at the woodworking shop near my house. I thought, maybe you could do something with them." Elias held the pieces of wood in his hands, examining them carefully. A strange light flickered in his dim eyes. He remembered his younger days, when he had made the first music stand for his beloved wife with his own hands. His trembling fingers gently touched the pieces of wood, as if rediscovering a long-forgotten sensation. In the days that followed, Anna often saw Elias sitting at the old table, diligently piecing the wood scraps together. His hands moved slowly but meticulously, as if trying to reassemble the fragments of his memories. Anna quietly sat beside him, observing him with patience and respect. Finally, under Elias's skillful hands and perseverance, the wood scraps became a unique work of art. It was a small box, decorated with intricate patterns, bearing his distinct personal touch. When Elias handed the box to Anna, his eyes shone with joy and gratitude. "You have brought me a new joy, Anna," he said softly. "This box, it's not just an inanimate object. It's proof that creativity and beauty can still sprout from broken pieces." Anna accepted the box, feeling the warmth and sincere affection that Elias had poured into it. She understood that this gift was not just a keepsake, but also a profound lesson about perseverance, hope, and the ability to find beauty in things that seemed lost. However, the story didn't end there. One evening, when Anna visited Elias, she brought a friend named Ben. Ben was a boy with a special talent for music. He played the violin beautifully. Listening to Ben play, Elias's eyes welled up with tears. The familiar melodies seemed to come alive again in the small house, filling the space with poignant emotions. He looked at the broken violin on the shelf, a burning longing rising in his heart. Anna and Ben noticed Elias's emotion. Ben gently suggested, "Sir, could I try? Could this violin be repaired?" Elias looked at Ben with surprise and hope in his eyes. He nodded, unable to speak. Ben carefully took the broken violin to a skilled instrument repairman. It took quite some time, with meticulous care and dedication, but the repairman restored the violin almost to its original state. Although a small crack remained, it didn't affect the sound the instrument produced. The day Ben brought the repaired violin back, Elias couldn't hide his emotion. He tremblingly held the violin in his hands, his thin fingers gently touching the strings. A soft note sounded, followed by a melodious, warm tune. Music once again filled the small house after so many years of silence. It wasn't the perfect music of the past, but it contained a deep emotion, a reverence for life and art. Elias played for Anna and Ben. Melodies that were both sad and hopeful, notes that trembled but held a remarkable strength. The old man's music was now not only the voice of a talented artist, but also a story of loss, healing, and the power of human connection. From then on, Elias's small house became a warm place filled with music. Ben often came to play the violin, and Elias guided him with delicate playing techniques. Anna sat beside them, listening to the soothing melodies and feeling the magical connection between music, friendship, and hope. The broken violin, once seemingly useless, had now been revived, not only physically, but also spiritually. It became a symbol of human resilience, of the ability to overcome difficulties and find joy in life. Elias never returned to the grand stage, but his music continued to resonate in the small alleyway, spreading warmth and hope to lonely hearts. He had found a new meaning in life, not just through playing the violin, but also through sharing his passion and inspiring young people. The story of old Mr. Elias and the broken violin is a profound tale of loss and recovery, of the power of music and human connection. It reminds us that no matter how difficult life may be, there are always glimmers of hope and hidden beauty waiting to be discovered. Sometimes things that seem shattered can become unique works of art, offering immense spiritual value. And sometimes a kind heart and a kindred spirit can heal the deepest wounds, bringing music and joy back into life.